All these rumors are fun to talk about. And Red Bull hasn't blown up yet.
Alex Albon's birthday, and his gift, Logan Sargent's car.
With the drain covers, why is this such a big issue?
That's what I'm saying. Alonso more and more is looking like Aaron Rodgers.
He's geriatric. We just kind of want him for merit mark.
You cannot win a constructors battle when your second driver is not performing.
Grab your popcorn, folks. Things are getting crazy.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Lights Out Latest. My name is Marina. I'm here with Sydney, Jason, and Christina. That was the most uneventful race. Lap 1 mattered, and that was just about it.
Fernando had a great time.
That was really funny. His radio
Did
was
anybody
hilarious.
hear his post-race radio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really
What
funny.
did he
a
say?
lot of bleeps.
A lot of bleeps. Everybody had a lot of bleeps today. Max was not happy.
Bleepy-dee.
Oscar
No,
was,
he
not
really
happy.
was not happy.
Yeah, Max was not having it. But I think most unhappy of them all, if we head into our headlines, was Lewis, as he announced that his his dog.
Wow,
I say puppy when it's small
Not a
dog,
puppy
but
anymore.
it's a dog. His 12-year-old dog, Roscoe, unfortunately passed away on Sunday,
In his arms.
which is tragic.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
That's
But
really sad.
silver lining that it was an off week, so he could actually be there.
You do mean Sunday the 29th, because there will be a Sunday between them.
last Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't say that.
Well, Sunday. It's Sunday.
It's always
So,
Sunday.
not today.
Sunday. Okay, next.
Crazy. We just
Wow.
skip it over Roscoe like he doesn't matter at all.
No!
Christina, you're like, well, he has a second dog, right? It doesn't
No, he
matter.
doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
No, I've seen so many sad edits. It's like, guys, Roscoe's with Coco now.
That's
Oh, yeah, he
crazy.
passed too. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's unfortunate.
Nice.
But I think, there's also silver linings in, that Roscoe was, living with a family in, I want to say it was L.A. So, he was happy. He was chilling. He wasn't traveling, around the world. He did a little bit towards the beginning of Lewis's career. But, still sad. You never want to lose a pet. In lighter news, since we're supposedly just jumping right over Roscoe.
What else are we supposed to say? It's so sad. There's no words. No words can
She's
say
skipping
anything.
because she would cry if we stay on it.
Yeah,
So,
I
that's
think
why.
I
see.
think that's what's happening.
There is no words to say, guys. I don't know what there's to talk about. It's tragic. And I got nothing.
Tragedy is what Max did to the Ferraris last weekend, as he becomes the most recent Ferrari F1 driver to win in a Ferrari. When he raced in GT3 and won.
By a hot
By a
sec,
hot
too.
sec.
What,
yeah.
Wasn't it 19 seconds or something like that?
Something along those lines.
And it was even an
17,
endurance race, right? Was it like a 4-hour?
I
something
want to say it was
kinda
a
short.
6-hour.
Okay.
So
yeah.
that's
Couple.
considered an endurance for them then.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Okay, so fair enough. So 19 seconds in an endurance race is more reasonable than 19
Yeah.
seconds in F1
But I
race.
think I saw a lot of comments after it being like, oh well, we should really be advertising F1 drivers to not come and race all these series, because if they can just pick up and win first try, it's gonna get real boring for whoever
Okay, well,
is
is
racing.
it
Okay, but it's
F1
not-
But it's not
drivers, or
F1
is it
drivers, it's Max.
Verstappen?
It's
Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
It also does
So-
somewhat have to do with who their teammate is. Because you cannot, when you're not in the car, your teammate could mess it up for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And who the team is, period. It's
Yeah, especially
the
in
environment that you're in.
endurance.
It's not just who you are.
Yeah.
Especially endurance, you're only in for part of the time. So it's it's still kind of fair. Also, the same thing happens in NASCAR. You have the top tier drivers, because in NASCAR, for those of you unfamiliar, there's the junior series, ARCA and the modifieds. Then you have the truck series, the Xfinity series, which is F2. And then you got the top series, which is actual NASCAR, the Cup series, kind of like F1. And a lot of the times, because there's just so many races, the Cup drivers will go to a truck series race or an Xfinity race and just show up and beat everybody just because they can. So
Yeah, because there's not
That's
that
what he's
rule
doing
of
at this
F2.
point.
this already
F1.
happens. It's not like Max Verstappen could go to F2 for a weekend and go dominate. But in
Yeah.
NASCAR, they
Yeah.
already do that. They're allowed to. So
Yeah. No, but I think it's fun. I think also Max talking about it's partially a side quest, right? We
Yeah.
always
It
joke
really
about
is.
Max's side quest, and he really does racing. Love racing all these other series, but I think partially too. I think he's trying to dip his feet in a little bit more with Verstappen.com, which worries me, because it's okay, well, his team, his Max Verstappen racing team or whatever, that's his that's project number 2 after F1. Like that is next up. So I was like, can we like take a chill pill on the like side quests? Like, because
But
it's
what
making me
happens
nervous.
after? Because we all agree, like, Max Verstappen just loves racing. Whatever it is, he will race it. And the shine of F1 is probably wearing off for him now that he's won multiple championships. He's won almost everywhere, right? And the team has caused him probably more stress than ever. What if one day he's like, hey, I just want to drive fast. I don't want to have to travel everywhere to do that. I don't have to deal with the media to do that. What if I could just show up somewhere and race and then leave and then decide whenever I want to do it again?
Is he pulling a Sony Hayes?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
that's what he's doing at this
that's
point.
perfectly put.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's pulling a Sony Hayes.
Yeah.
Well, and he's talked about he wants to do the Triple Crown. Like, he's talked about it in the past, too. Like, how he wants.
I would love to see him.
He's talked about it. Him and
Yeah.
Alonso have both talked about, like, wanting to do it.
About doing Le Mans. I don't
Exactly.
know that he'll ever jump over to IndyCar, unfortunately for
I
you,
don't think
Jason.
he will.
But I think,
But he's
talked about it
the
before.
possibility,
I think-
Yeah.
and I'd love to see him do it.
I would
but
love
I
to
don't know
see-
if he will.
Does
This is, like,
Ford
so-
have any connection to IndyCar? I can't remember. No.
No,
Right?
not
Yeah.
at all.
So
Not
at this
right now.
moment,
I
I
don't
don't think, because he's got no
But-
connection really.
But even with Ford, like, there's not a real. I would see him doing it after,
Yeah.
not during.
I could see him
Because
trying
he's already
a
won
NASCAR
Monaco.
race. Like getting into a
Exactly. Like,
NASCAR
they're
race
already-
is way easier than getting into IndyCar or F1 because NASCAR there's like almost 40 cars. And like any weekend you could enter a team just to enter a team for that
I
weekend.
just
Yeah.
wanna
Right?
see
F1
him
you
go
can't
and, like,
do that.
destroy. I just want to see him go and destroy for a weekend.
I would
Yeah.
love to see that. I think I think the two like side quests I want to see is NASCAR and Le Mans.
Wait, but
I want to
wait,
see many people in Le Mans. on a side
Verstappen
quest.
never raced in F2, so technically he still has eligibility.
Yeah, technically he can, because you're not.
That would be
yeah.
really funny.
He
That
could
would be
he could
hysterical.
race in F2.
Because technically,
That would be
isn't-
so
Isn't the
hysterical.
rule technically like you can only not go back to F2 if you win F2?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only
Is there
rule.
any regulation on F1 champions?
I was, I
No,
think
because they don't think anyone would do that. So the writing is if you win F2, you're not allowed to return.
Yeah. So like Lance Stroll could go to F2
So,
because
but,
he
like,
only won F3.
But like Charles Leclerc can't. Oscar Piastri
Yeah.
can't.
Yep.
Did George win F2?
No, I think he finished second.
Was
it
that the-
Albon?
No, he won.
Alex won.
Yeah,
And
All
Alex
George
those
was
guys
second?
finished second to
Yeah.
George.
And then Lando was third.
Yeah, because Landon
I
didn't
don't
win
know.
F2 either.
No, it was Alex because that was the whole
Can
thing.
you
where
imagine
Alex
the
is supposed to
side
be better.
quest? Next level. I can't win an F1 World Championship, so might as
I'm
well
gonna
go to
win
F2.
yeah,
Christina
start his
got
own.
so sad.
Imagine
That
if he
wasn't
starts.
particularly directed towards Lando.
No, I
All
was-
of those people that we listed,
I was
Lando,
thinking,
Alex,
no,
George.
I was thinking Alex. Then I went, no, Alex can't do that. He already won F2.
This
That's
fits
why
the
I got
narrative
sad.
perfectly.
That's so
Verstappen
funny.
will start his Verstappen.com racing team in F2.
Yep.
And for the first year to make sure everything works, he's going to
He's
drive
gonna
the
go
car
do it.
himself. Right?
Well, no, because
That would be
when
so
Cadillac
funny.
joins, there's going to be the exact same number of racers in F2 and F1. So they might need to add more F2 drivers. There you go. Max Verstappen can create his own F2 team.
I would not put it past him at all to create an F2 team. He has the money.
Franz Herman for F2.
Yeah.
He has the money.
Penelope
Here,
in the car.
Franz
Penelope
Herman
in the car.
and Chuck
Yeah.
Leclerc.
What about Kelly Piquet? Give her time.
God.
She kind of
Yeah.
dropped out of racing.
Nelson.
She could go back.
Give
No,
Nelson.
not Nelson. No, Kelly.
Just gonna say.
Nelson is probably the most hated from that
Literally.
crew. Junior?
Oh.
Is he most hated from that
But
crew?
he already raced in
Publicly?
F1. Did he win F2?
I don't think he won F2. But
He went
did
to
I don't
race
know.
Formula
I
in
E.
think
F2.
we're getting very
Dang it,
sidetracked, guys.
I
Yeah,
actually have
but
an
it's okay,
important
it's still
note
motorsports.
about what is it? I have an important note. Yeah,
About-
PK's raced and everything. About this weekend. So this weekend featured the required driving cooling system.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
because it was a heat
Oh, yes.
wave.
totally
heat warning,
new.
whatever.
Yeah, so there's some criteria that the FIA has where if it's too hot, drivers have to wear liquid cooled
above-
They don't
vests.
have to.
If it gets above
Well,
31,
that's what I was getting to.
recommended.
Yeah.
They're supposed
if it's
to.
above 31 degrees Celsius, I think.
So the
at all.
choice is you could either wear this 8-kilogram vest that liquid cools you, or your car has to have 8 kilos of weight added to it. So it's kind of like if I'm a
I
driver,
thought it was 5.
or maybe it's 5, but whatever. The point being is I'm a driver. You know, my choice is either I wear a cooling vest or my car gets the same amount in weight. I mean, there
the
really
cooling
isn't
vest.
a
Cooling vest.
disadvantage to wearing the vest.
But
so.
a lot of drivers didn't wear the vest. Out of the top 3, only George wore the vest. Lando didn't wear it.
Lando,
Well, he won the race,
I do
so-
know Lando literally hates wearing those kinds of vests.
Lando
like,
didn't wear it.
He
Max
doesn't
hates
even
it.
wear
He
like a
also
cooling vest before the
doesn't-
race.
I
He
also know
gets
he doesn't
sprayed with
drink
something
a-
that looks like
he
Yeah.
doesn't drink a
Windex.
lot either,
Yeah.
and he's talked about
I
that.
think
Yeah.
Like Marcus
think
Ericsson
Charles
never
wore
raced
it.
with a bottle.
I thought it was funny that during the race, the one comment they chose to put up is drink for Lando. They just put the drink.
Because he doesn't. He
Yeah.
talked
I know
about how
he
doesn't
doesn't.
drink during races.
Yeah.
Because then you get dizzy when you don't
Yeah.
think about it.
But it was like,
Yeah.
I get that they're
Sometimes.
doing that, and I get Lando doesn't drink, but I thought it was
Mm-hmm.
funny that they deliberately chose Lando and be like, yep, drink.
Yeah. But I thought it was really funny. I mean, I guess this is like very flash forwarding, but I thought it was really funny that at the end of the race, the driver that looked the most drenched out of the top 3 was George, and he was the only one that wore the vest. So, and I think Oscar made this point in the press conference. He said, the vest is great if it works. If it doesn't, it's 8 kilos that's on your body that's only making you hotter. Which is
Yeah.
why I think a lot of people chose not to wear it, because it's still not tested. But
Was-
the only way to test it is for drivers to wear it.
Was Charles wearing it?
So I think Charles wore
Yeah,
it.
because it's that weird,
He
like,
tends,
Yeah.
he
swoopy
tends
thing.
to wear it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wears that.
He tends to wear them. But I don't think Oscar wore it. I know Lando didn't. I know Max didn't. I know George did. So, very interesting. I wonder, because I know this isn't the first race this year that they've had this. We've had others. I know I think Carlos said, no, not Carlos. Who said it?
Someone.
Someone said they wore it in Jeddah and in Bahrain.
Alex?
I wouldn't be
Could have been
surprised.
Charles.
But it was someone who did it.
Stroll.
It must have been. It
What
must have been
color was it?
Oscar
I don't think
or
I've seen
George.
I know. I feel like Oscar.
Because I
used
feel like
to
I heard
wear
it in a
them.
press conference.
I don't know.
I know Oscar. I think used to wear that type of stuff because I feel like I'm used to seeing it.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I want to briefly touch on F1 Academy before we like truly dive into this weekend. Their championship is set to go to the end between Dorian Punt and Maya, which is Vegas is their last race.
There are
Exciting.
9 points between them, with Dorian Pong at 151 points and Maya Vong at 142 points.
How many
So-
points up for grabs in a race weekend?
Reverse grid is top 8 get points, and it's
crazy.
1, 2. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Or wait, no, it goes up to 10. I think.
Is it
I don't remember.
8 and then 25 for the race?
Um,
Don't they have 3 races? Or is
You-
it 2?
I think it's just.
they have 2 races.
Guys,
they only
I
have
watched
3
some of
races.
F1 Academy. I don't watch it
if
consistently.
a
as
race
much
gets
as I
canceled
wish
the
I
week
did.
before.
Yeah,
I watch every race.
I love the girls. I love them.
I love them. They're very
No,
sweet.
they get so it's just like with F2 and F3, it's the same amount of point scoring
Oh, okay.
as that.
So it's 8 and 25. Okay,
it's
cool.
gonna be backwards, yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
So potentially it really could go down to the last race.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I was going to.
It's definitely going to.
unless something randomly happens with one of them, which can happen. F1 Academy
Yeah.
does get some crashes every once in a while.
Yeah.
Not even the crashes. I feel like they have, like, the mechanical stuff has
Well,
been
but
happening
even-
a lot this year.
Even if
Not too
Maya,
much.
because Dorian's
Just like, but I'm
is
saying
ahead
in
by 9,
general
right?
has
Yes.
happened.
Even if Maya crashes out in the first one, if she won the second one, she'd still win. I think either way
Depending
it'll
on
go
how
to the
close
last one.
Dorian gets, though.
But if Dorian wins,
if Dorian won the
she's-
first race and
she-
then got P2 in the second race, I
but
think
either
she
way
would
it's
still
going
win.
to the second race is my point.
Yeah.
Yeah, either way it should go to the second race in Vegas, which would be really interesting. However, I'm very curious as to know what time this race is going to be slotted at, their final
Oh.
race. Because it'd be a shame if they didn't have much of an audience because Vegas is so late.
And this weekend, Leah Block won her first race.
Yes!
That
for
was
American.
I
incredible.
saw that. I
Leah.
saw
Yes.
that. That I did see.
And then-
Good for her.
I
Good
just
for
hope
Leah.
what they do in Las Vegas, they don't do what they did in Miami, because I saw people on TikTok or whatever like going to Miami before F1 Academy had something at 10 a.m. But Miami wasn't opening the gates till like 10:30, 11. So
Oh,
there were people
yeah.
waiting
I remember hearing
outside
about this,
I saw
wanting
that.
to watch the race or
And they
practice
couldn't.
or whatever or qualifying, and they couldn't because F1 wouldn't let them in. So they were all on their phones standing outside watching F1 Academy.
The only way I see this happening again would be if it would be having to do with how fast the organizers can get everything open once they shut down the streets.
I think the problem with Vegas
That's
is
the
they
problem with
already
Vegas.
seclude it so much and they already block off so much, but I don't think they've ever had a problem with like getting people to where they need to be. I
No.
think the big problem with Vegas is just that it's already so limited in visibility and things
Is it
like
not
that.
happening
they've
in
never
Vegas?
really had a problem.
Is it not Vegas? You said it was
It's
Vegas.
not on the calendar. I could have sworn they told me it was Vegas earlier because it was on their calendar, but
Let's see.
thought
it's
it
not
was-
Abu Dhabi.
I didn't think they went to Abu Dhabi because F2
No,
and
They don't-
F3
they
go
don't-
to
they
Abu
don't
Dhabi.
go to Abu Dhabi.
No, I don't think they put it on the calendar because F2 and F3 aren't on Abu Dhabi calendar yet either.
Yeah, they usually don't put them in until like right before.
Okay, so
Because they don't define times for F2 and F3 until like the week
yeah,
before.
but no, it is Vegas because
Yeah.
I remember I was like, no, they should have done it at Coda because I'll be there, but no, they're doing it at Vegas.
But that will be very interesting. I love it when championships go to the end, especially for the girls, and the winner has high stakes involved because they get an F3 equivalent
Especially-
seat somewhere.
Yeah, they get a fully
Especially
funded.
both
Yeah.
of these two, they're both like very like I don't want to say high profile. That's not the right word, but like both like high contested.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
They're
sure.
very both like.
Yeah.
years-
Dorian has gotten a lot of hype around her, especially like 'cause she's been
She
on
was
talk
on
shows.
talk.
She was on
yeah,
Jimmy Fallon
Jimmy
Kimmel. one
Jimmy
of the
Kimmel.
two.
Kimmel. She was on
Yeah.
Kimmel.
She was on Kimmel, and then Maya's obviously a very big, and she's had a lot of hype around her, especially in her Ferrari like.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
also is their
World.
second year, so they did get that first year of that.
Exactly.
Which also means like half the grid is going to be gone this year because
Mm-hmm.
you only get 2 years. So there's at least, what, like
good handful of them.
10, 5, 1, 2,
A lot of them.
3,
There's at least a good 8.
4,
Maya,
5,
Via,
6,
Dorian,
7. I'm counting 7. I might have accidentally counted an extra one, so it might only be 6.
Still,
But that's
a lot.
still
yeah.
a lot. It's still a lot.
I mean, but they also did that rookie test in, I can't remember where, but they did that a couple weeks ago. So the rookies who do come in will already have experience, which none of these drivers got before
Yeah.
they got into an F1 Academy car. They just got thrown
Yeah.
in.
Well, that'll be interesting. I think anytime there's a big shakeup in the teams, and I think we had that a little bit this year as well because this is the third season, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
So half the grid.
half the grid
yeah.
left last year with it being their second season. Those
All but
who
those
actually
6.
stayed. Yeah. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a big shakeup. But speaking of shakeups, let's move into quali and the actual race weekend.
So like I
Um,
don't remember quali for some reason, guys.
Most importantly, George took pole. That's the
Yeah.
shakeup
Who
I'm kind of talking about.
cares? On with my day.
I think the important thing about this is that it wasn't Max, it wasn't Oscar, it wasn't Lando.
And
like,
the Ferraris
that
were
is the
nowhere to be
And
headline.
it
seen.
wasn't a Ferrari.
And the Ferraris were nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. Though that's as per usual.
Yeah.
But
But a girl can dream.
the Ferraris are like, they're Penn State football. They're Penn
They
State football
literally
right
are.
now.
They literally
They're supposed
are.
to be good,
And they're
but
not
they're
showing up.
they're not
Oh,
showing up when it
okay.
Not
counts.
showing up.
I learned this
They're
just
not showing
now.
up, period. They give you a little spark of hope, and then they just disappear again.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were supposed to be like the Dallas Cowboys.
I
That-
don't care for
No,
the
Dallas
Dodgers.
is even worse.
I don't
Yeah.
care for the
Dallas
Dallas
hasn't
Cowboys.
actually done it. Like Ferrari's won races. They've been in championship battles. Like you think like 2017, 2018, they're in the battle. 2019,
Yeah.
they won a string of races. 2022, they're leading the championship. Charles by 40 points. He was leading,
Don't remind me.
right?
Yeah.
Like Ferrari's been
remind me.
at least in it.
Stupid
Dallas
man.
has never been in it.
Yeah, and
So.
I think but that's where I compare it to Penn State in college football.
Oh
because
yeah,
it's
they were
like,
in
Where
it
we
last year.
start to do
They were
well.
in
They
it
made the
last year. We start to
semifinal, yeah.
do well. We make semifinals. We made Big Ten championship when Ohio State lost to Michigan. Like
we were supposed
we
to
were
go
supposed
for a natty
to go
this
for a
year.
natty this year. We're highly ranked. Like I
What
remember
is it?
Charles coming into the season being
I
like,
was
"We're
going
gonna
to
be
ask
good."
a question, but I'm not going to because I don't want to learn.
Okay. Anyways, so I think there's a lot of expectation around Ferrari, and
Yeah, it's Ferrari.
Just
and it
do
never
we have
kind of
one
pans out.
skate.
Enzo Ferrari.
But more
everyone's a bit
importantly,
fascist.
I say the McLarens and Max because that's the championship fight right now. Like Max is far, but he's close enough to where mathematically is still
can do
very
something.
possible.
Not happening.
No, but he can still do something. He can
do some-
disrupt.
He could
Hey,
still
hey,
split the
He
McLarens
can't-
easily.
That's what he might not be necessarily able to take something, but he can still disrupt it.
Yeah,
Pass.
and I think it will. The closer he gets, the more it alters McLaren. In
He
that,
can mess with them.
in that you're only free to fight so far because if you crash each other out, Max is right up.
Yeah.
Right. So it's right there. So I think it'll be interesting. And I think George kind of threw a wrench in Max's plans.
George threw a wrench in everybody's plans.
Max was up
George likes to do
2/10
that.
going into the final couple corners. And then he got blocked by Lando. I thought that was really funny. I think the term blocked is outrageous by Max and by the team.
He was in the
Because
pit
GP
lane.
said
I saw that.
Max crosses the line, doesn't take pole, and GP immediately goes, well, you can thank your little friend for that one.
I saw it.
I
I
think-
said,
Yeah.
where?
If you look at who improved, it was everyone pretty much who didn't get traffic. I think the only exception to that was maybe George. But when I say traffic, it's like in Singapore, realistically, you don't really want to see anyone else when you're on your fast lap.
No.
Yeah,
Fast lap.
I
Ideally,
mean,
they all go out kind of at the same time. You're all on
Oscar-
a fast lap.
One of his fast laps, there was the double yellow because Alex was getting out of the way. And literally, even the thingies, because he went off the track to get out of the way. And
Yeah.
the commentators were like, yeah, that's what I would do because
He got
it's
a double
the
yellow,
best
though?
thing to get
Yeah,
out.
that's a
Yeah, he
lot.
got a double yellow.
That's crazy.
Because they were like, oh my gosh, he's off the track. It's like, no, he was
Yeah.
getting out of the way because in Singapore, that's the safest thing to do sometimes is just go off the track
Yeah,
in a safe
exactly.
spot.
But Max, ideally, when he was talking about it in the press conference, he's like, well, ideally, you'd want 6, maybe 7, 8 seconds between your, between whoever's in front of you and you want a fast lap. And I think a lot of people got clean laps, and I think he was upset because he could have easily maintained a 6 or 7 second gap, but Lando was kind of like just doodling and then just pulled off into the pits. So I think that's where he was upset because
Well, yeah,
had
'cause
Lando
he was on his
been
cooldown.
had
Yeah,
Lando been
well,
a
Max didn't even
second
finish his
faster
last
into
lap.
but had Lando been like a second faster going into the pits, it wouldn't have been an issue. And then Max still wouldn't have taken pole, and he would have no one to blame but
Because
himself.
Lando was on a cooldown, and there
I
was
still
no
think
way
George
for
was
him to
faster.
get
I
up
saw
to
it,
do
and I'm
another
like,
lap.
what?
So he just went to the
But
pits.
in Max's defense, he was 2 tenths up going into those final 2 corners, and he had to back off because of the dirty air. So it's like it's not like it's Lando's fault, but he has a valid point in that.
But I also don't
The
think
dirty
it was
air-
blocking.
No, it was
that
not
was
blocking.
not blocking by any
Just
means.
No.
That was
poor time
just
management.
traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
And it
Just
wasn't
some
even
poor
traffic.
time
That was just
management,
dealing with
guys.
dirty air.
Yeah, exactly.
But that
So
was by no way blocking.
But I thought it was interesting, especially because because of GP's thing, like, oh, you can thank your little friend for that one. Like, I thought that was
Well,
so funny.
GP, no.
like, what are we
Um,
doing here? Like,
And
no.
then in the post quality, like when they did the 3 of them together, and David Coulthard was like, yeah, I think you had like a little incident like in the last couple corners there, and he was like,
Incident.
I
no,
was just gonna do that.
no, I was blocked. And Max goes, no, I was blocked. And DC's like, by who? And Max goes, not Oscar. He wouldn't
I
even
saw
say
that.
Lando. And he didn't say Lando for like the entire press conference either. He was just like, the other McLaren. I just don't think he wants the headlines. He's so over the
Oh,
media.
no, he doesn't.
Um,
Man's
so-
never
I think
liked
everybody
the
is at
media,
this
so
point.
yeah.
I think they just want to race and finish it out. And I think
I'm
they're over
definitely
it.
over the media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the last little bit from qualifying was that both Williams were unfortunately disqualified. That was tragic.
That's
Um,
crazy.
Yeah.
I think
Weren't they
It's
both
I
out?
saw
happened.
one and I saw the other. I said, ooh.
Weren't they both out in Q2 though? Or
But
was
it doesn't
Q1?
matter.
I
Like,
know. I'm
Q2,
just saying.
They didn't make it. They were like
Q2
11 and 12, but
Yeah.
still.
Yeah, I think one of them was like 13th. I'm like,
Better Q2
13th
than
is still
Q3
better
though.
than 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And starting from the pit lane. Although Carlos was able to pull off a point
Yeah, which is
Finished
crazy.
Yeah.
P10
He was?
from the
Okay.
pit
From the
lane.
back.
So
Carlos didn't start in the pit lane.
he just started on track. They let
He
him start on
started-
track.
He started 18th.
Oh.
They let him start on
Well,
track.
who started behind him then?
Pierre started in the
Alex.
pit lane, and behind
Oh.
Pierre was Alex.
Gotcha.
But they didn't make Carlos start in the pit lane?
He was 18th. He was on the grid.
That's weird.
I thought you
That's weird.
couldn't.
I thought you wouldn't start on the grid because he's disqualified. So you didn't qualify, therefore you start in the
Esteban
pit
was
lane.
disqualified the other day, a couple races ago, when they let him
The
start.
race director probably just let him for some
Yeah.
reason.
I
don't
think
know.
that I
Interesting.
could have sworn I heard James
Maybe
Val
it's
saying they
dependent
changed
on-
things on Alex's car that wasn't the rear
I
wing.
would say maybe it's
Oh,
dependent
I
on
see.
the technical
So-
reg.
Yeah, I see. That's probably
And
why.
because they just
Mhm.
fixed the rear wing to make it qualifying on Carlos's, they didn't have to
Yeah.
start him.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting because James Val's, he was talking to the media and he was like apologizing. He was like, yeah, I had a difficult conversation with the drivers and like apologized to them because realistically, this is the
thank
race in which you prepare the most for. Like, this is where
Mhm.
all of your effort goes into making sure you're physically fit for this. And they qualified. I mean, they didn't qualify great, but they weren't expecting to do great here. And they were close enough to the points to where like an accident in front of them or just a good start, like you're
Yeah.
into the points.
Mhm.
Whereas Carlos really had to work for it and had to do a different strategy and whatnot to be able to actually push and make it into into the points. So I thought it was interesting though, because he was like, I had to go apologize to my drivers.
Which I think is crazy because I
is
feel
cute.
like we hear about this a decent amount where he has to have that communicative side with his drivers a lot.
Exactly.
Whether it's good or bad, where it's like, oh, we have to get that strategy call a lot.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like we're hearing about it a lot anymore.
Yeah. I love James Vowles, the way he speaks to the media and the way he seems to
Yeah.
treat his drivers.
I think
Logan
it's great.
Sargent,
I
not
don't
included.
like James Vowles. I hold a grudge.
Facts. Facts.
I don't know why y'all have so much, like, love for Logan.
Because it just got.
Because he's.
It was
I mean, he's
He's
sweet,
my
but he
shadow.
was never a good driver.
He never went anywhere.
He never did anything.
Because it got.
He
like,
barely scored
He's
a
just
point.
a guy.
I have the same love for him
Yeah,
that I have
that's
for
the
Jack.
point.
Because they got pretty much, I think, treated the same. Because if you look at the way,
Well,
like,
Jack
Colin-
got like 6 races. Logan got a season and a half.
but then,
That-
but he got treated like crap.
Yeah, he still got treated bad.
So did Jack.
Yeah.
But
I don't
then-
know.
But look how
I think you earn your respect in the sport, and I don't think he earned it.
how much.
I
Do
think
you
you
respect Colin
should-
Pinto?
I don't respect him.
I think you
Exactly.
should at least come in with being allowed to have the respect and not being automatically treated badly.
But he was treated well in the beginning.
But still.
By not many.
He was treated well for the first 8 races when all the rookies were expected to fail, and then
Just-
he was one of the only ones still
But
failing.
that has got flipped on its head in the
Absolutely.
past season
Yeah.
and a half.
No, I'm not saying I hate Logan. I'm just
No, no,
saying
no, I'm not
I don't
saying
hate James Vowles because he got rid of Logan, because I think Logan should have
I
gotten.
never said I hate him. I just
Logan
said I
Sargent
don't
shouldn't have gotten
like
more than a
the
year.
man.
I just think that there was an expectation that got flipped, and I don't like the way that it was handled.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
that's
whole
fair.
situation. I don't
That's
like how
fair.
that was handled.
I don't
and
like how
he
James
was
Vowles
treated
handles
during
things,
that.
yeah.
That's fair.
And then I think the way that James has flipped the way that he has handled things, I appreciate that he's now treating his drivers a lot better. But I think it's because that he now has seasoned drivers.
And
Yeah.
he has the drivers he wanted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
because
now
he
has
was
the people he
literally,
wants, and now he's treating them
as
the way
people were
that
saying,
likes.
he was literally courting Carlos Sainz before we knew about anything
Exactly.
about Logan
Carlos Sainz, the paddock playboy.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I can't blame him.
or whatever
Well, isn't
Jack
that for
Doohan said.
Charles because of?
yeah. Well, Charles was also that was also a report that came out this week that
Oh.
his team was talking to McLaren
Or
and
he- yeah.
Aston
Yeah,
and Audi,
Mercedes.
Yeah.
Mercedes.
Yeah.
I think his team was
Everyone?
talking to everyone.
I
let's
think
be
it's
honest.
just so he can get a better
I
contract.
don't blame him.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't
probably
blame
right.
him.
It's just so he can get a better
I think it's
contract.
just so he can be-
Yeah.
He bleeds
they
Rosa Corsa.
can't
Yeah, but
they can't
how
lose
long
him.
will he?
Ferrari doesn't have a
I know.
choice. They
But
have to
how-
save him.
But how?
Yeah.
Because
long
who do they
will
put in the other? Lewis
No,
is only going to last another year.
The only thing that would work
I
is an
don't know how long
Antonelli
Charles will.
Leclerc swap. That would be great.
He
I would like that.
No, but who's
I
your
can't
second?
let him die there this
Uh,
early.
I
Lewis
can't.
is about to leave.
Kimmy can't
You're gonna
die
put-
at Ferrari
Well,
this early.
everyone
put
knows
Kimi
the
and Ollie in
plan
there?
is after Lewis leaves, Ollie takes Lewis's
Ollie's
seat.
not good enough to
and
go to
it's
Ferrari.
Louis.
I said what I
Yeah,
said.
Here's the thing.
Ollie
they go to
and
Ferrari
Charles.
to die, which is the problem because Ferrari isn't doing well
Ollie's
enough
already
anymore.
dead.
Yeah, but he needs.
That might be a
he
hot
needs
take, but
something.
like Ollie Behrman has
Which
not performed
kills me.
adequately, in my opinion. I don't think
I
he's
want
performed
the
up to the
Ollie-
task.
that jumped in last year?
Yeah, 23,
Yeah, for
24. No, it's 24.
early 24 for Carlos.
Mhm.
Where the hell is that Ollie?
Yeah, I mean to be fair,
Where'd that Ollie go?
it's a very different environment.
Oh yeah,
But
but
also to
also
the fact
where's
that
that
like
car?
yeah, so it's hard.
That's a whole other
It's hard
topic.
to judge, but I think the most important factor is, are you outperforming your teammate? And I think that's very 50-50 right now with Ollie and Esteban.
Yeah.
So
I think part of it's also the car because we don't have an Haas that is anywhere close to even what we saw last year. So
yeah,
Just let me have a dream, guys.
but
me
I think
about it.
but I think it derailed Ferrari's original plan, because I think that was Ferrari's plan.
yeah,
Yeah.
to put.
I don't think that
to
is
put-
anymore.
No, I don't think they have a plan.
I don't think they have a plan.
I don't
post
think
have a
Lewis.
plan when
No, they don't have plans.
Charles
They should have
is-
kept Carlos, but we don't have to talk about that.
Crazy. So moving
their
on.
plan was to have good social media over the summer, and that has done them no good for.
It's called the distraction. Oh, I saw that. They were like, I saw another thing. They were like, oh, Williams pulled the Instagram distraction with a thirst trap.
Oh, I did see
Yeah.
this. I don't know who I showed this. I was like, I think it was Yvette last night. We were watching a movie. We were watching Gone with the Wind.
Don't watch it. It's 4
Don't watch
hours
it. It's
long.
really bad. It's really bad.
It's
Um,
4 hours long.
Yeah, it was really bad.
That's why we watched it.
Which is why we kept watching. But I was scrolling on Instagram because it was really bad, and I scrolled upon the thirst trap, and I was like, so
What was the thirst trap? I never saw it.
it was Carlos in the bathtub,
Oh,
Wait,
maybe I did
what?
see that.
like in the ice bath, not like the bath. But he was still
still.
like, you don't see any clothes on the man. He was definitely wearing something, but you
They
don't
always
see
have
it.
trunks on, but they never tell you.
Like, I will show.
Is
I will
it
show
on
the
Williams?
people. Yes.
See, I saw Kika at the L'Oreal fashion show, and I was waiting.
Oh
for
my
Carlos
gosh, I
to
saw
show-
that and I went, oh my gosh.
Oh. See,
That could have
Oh,
been.
you do see, but there was another one where you don't see.
It
his-
could have been a better thirst trap.
Mercedes
It could have been better.
Posts, I think Mercedes will repost like George or Kimmy all the time.
George
Yeah.
loves his
George
shirtless
already
photos.
do
posts
it
himself
all
enough.
the time.
George did the pool
Yeah.
stuff.
George loves a good shirtless photo, and that's established. Alex Albon has been saying that for years.
Oh my god, how many posts did he put up this weekend? George did the
George?
pool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
every
but they're adorable.
They're
okay.
so
All
cute.
I'm gonna say is lately, every time I see a post of George and Carmen, I go, "Oh my gosh, are they finally getting engaged?"
Yeah.
And they're never getting engaged. Finally, it's tragic.
Can we, like, please get engaged?
I just want to see an engagement post of those two.
But George kind of cluttered his feed. That's crazy.
What?
He posted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things of his win. He like accepted the collaborations with everybody.
cluttered his feed. I heard cluttered his feet.
Yeah,
and
I was like, he's
what?
letting his
Feed?
shirtless body show, but not his feet.
I was like, he's letting the dogs out.
I need to.
Anyways.
Guys, we should get. Can we get back?
We're getting
I
really
have
off topic
things
So
to
today.
do.
Really?
I'm literally on George's Instagram.
Can we get
like-
off of the Instagrams? I have things to do.
All right. Let's talk about the race. Yeah. Sydney's like,
I
finally.
guess.
George won.
George won, in case that wasn't
Yeah,
obvious.
yeah.
The race is boring, so we
Is
gotta
this
talk
his
about
second
it.
win
Yeah.
this year?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Second one of the year.
What did
Tier
he win
one
before?
driver,
I forgot.
George Russell.
We all forgot.
You missed it when I said that, Jason.
What did Jason say?
I said it. Remember on the podcast I did say blank blank tier 1 driver, and I won't say it again because I promised it would be the only time I ever said it. But I
Oh.
did say it.
Okay.
Because that's Jason's thing. He says it all the time, and I
Well,
don't
because
agree.
it's been a while, but
I think I said it when
uh,
George won the first race.
Marina
once.
would always say, "Oh, George isn't that tier 1. He's good, but he's a tier 1
He's tier
championship
1B.
driver."
He's the one that
He's not
sneaks
1A.
in whenever anything else is like, whenever anybody else is fighting out. He's
He
like,
doesn't-
all right,
He doesn't naturally fight for podiums.
no, he's just always
He just
there.
He's
kinda
just always
shows up.
4th or 5th.
He does.
just like
He's just
sneaks his way
there.
in there.
Yeah, he says, "Oh,
Which to be fair,
I'll take one of those, please."
is
Yeah.
still valuable. What
it
I don't
is.
understand
It's a
is
skill.
Max is like a dead no for Mercedes, at least going into next year.
Mm-hmm.
So why
They're-
have that contract needs to be signed ASAP? And I think
Oh,
what's
yeah.
still holding it up
all
is
the commentators were talking
George
about it.
is likely wanting a multi-year deal, and Mercedes probably just wants him for 26, so they can see what happens for 27.
Yeah, because they want Kimmy, because Kimmy's the future.
They want Kimi and Max.
Well then, Max, yeah.
So Toto Wolff will not. I really don't think he's going to sign a multi-year deal with George. As much as he likes George,
I think he's over him.
I think he's kind of over it. I think it's Max. I think it's Max over George.
And
He
100%.
said,
gets
"Sorry,
along
son,
so
it's
well
time to
with
graduate."
Kimmy. He gets along so well with Kimmy. Like,
Yeah.
that's his. He wants that pairing so bad.
Don't hate me for making this comparison if you don't like Zach Brown, but the Zach
like Zach
Lando
Brown.
relationship is very similar to me to the Toto Kimmy relationship.
It is.
So we can also do
It
the
is. It's
Toto
but
and
it's more
Kimmy
like,
is like Peter Parker and
Yeah.
Tony Stark. That's the
Yeah, but
comparison
to
I
me-
can print.
but
which
to
is the
me,
same
it's
as-
more
Yeah, but it sounds better
genuine.
than mentioning that man.
Toto and Kimmy's is more genuine to me than like Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
that's
like,
why.
It's more like young,
It's more
Yeah.
closer to
and,
the
and not just
Tony
like
Stark.
actually
Yeah.
young, but it's more like nurturing than
Yeah.
like Lando's.
Lando's is just like it's almost like Zach is obsessed with him.
It is.
Honestly,
really
yeah,
weird.
That's what it
because
is.
all those drivers are a copy and paste. And go look at the
'cause-
McLarens in any other racing field. Look at their junior drivers.
They're all the same.
Oh, I thought of another headline. Alex Dunn left the McLaren Driver
Oh,
Academy.
crazy.
We don't even have to talk about the race today. We can talk about everything else.
Can
Everything but the race. No, we do have to talk about the race at some
But no,
point. But
Alex
if you
Dunn
want to talk about
left.
Alex Dunn, I think that wasn't obvious. Like that was
There's no room for
It's,
him.
I get that there was no
Where's he
room,
gonna go?
but I figured he would at least wait till F2 was over. Or he got like all his FP1s and things like that. Because that obviously means someone must have signed him because he was
he
like
absolutely
he
got
said bigger
signed.
things are coming
yeah,
and stuff. He was like, yeah, no. So he
As
got
they
signed.
always
You know what
somewhere.
I think? I think Alex was signed by Red Bull.
I would love to see that.
I'll be
And
Yeah,
like,
because that's the only
I think
driver
they-
academy
No,
better
Alex
than
Dunn.
They need
McLaren
better
right now.
I
drivers
think he was signed by Red
to
Bull.
develop because
Yeah.
they keep losing all their ones in Formula One by that point. That's the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
They
Yeah.
need
There
strong
was-
ones that can compete
Because
with
right now, what do you have?
McLarens.
You have Pepe Marti. You
Arvid
have
Lindblad.
Arvid Lindblad. And
Uh,
who's the third?
well, Nicholas Solo, but he's in
I
F3.
don't know.
No,
But
but there's a
he-
third in F2. There's 3 Red Bull cars in F2.
I forgot. I know there's 3, but I can never
don't
remember.
know.
Who's the third Red Bull in F2? Oh my god, guys.
You got Pepe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pepe Martin, Arvin Lindblad. Not. Oliver Goth.
Yeah.
Goth.
Goth. Something like that. I don't know. Ollie Gotha
Oh,
is
yeah.
how they say it, and that's how Alex says it
Okay,
when he
but
does the commentary.
I've told you my theory. Because compost.
What's your theory? Compost?
The compost racing theory, and
But
the
who's
Red Bull
his-
theory.
Yeah, I think it's Red Bull. I think he got signed by Red Bull.
No, but because
That's his best chance of getting
Arvid
an
I
F1.
think
Lindblad-
they're also going to be poaching. They all just want to poach off each other at this point.
I
Like,
could
that's
see-
what
There's
it
not a lot of
is.
new
I
talent.
could see maybe
It's
they're
not.
not signing Liam again, and Arvid Lindblad is going to Racing Bulls because Nicholas Solov has a seat in F2 at Compost, which means one of the seats is gone, and they're both taken by Red Bull drivers right now.
Yeah,
We
one
did
of them
talk
is
about
getting
this.
dropped.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But the question is which one, and is Arvid coming up to F?
Didn't we figure
One.
that out, though?
Yeah. Well, that was my theory of Isaac was going to Red Bull, and then Arvid was taking Isaac's seat at Racing Bulls, and then Nikola Solov was going to F2. But Marina's
that's
now
what we're
saying
talking
it's going with Alex Dunn.
I think it's Alex Dunn.
I think
think it'd be
they could
Alex.
still they might get rid of Liam and put Arvid in Liam's spot.
I don't think Liam is even a little bit secure in his future.
I have no clue, honestly.
Yeah, I think
I
if
think
you're
it's,
if
I think it's bye bye Liam.
it could go that way, or they put Alex and Arvid at Racing Bulls and Isaac.
The worst thing
No.
is
If
I want
Isaac
people
doesn't want to, but-
stay long enough so that way they can actually develop people as drivers. But I know
Yes.
that's not the nature of the sport, and they need
hate that.
results. But the worst thing is you can't just throw somebody in and expect results. Like you need to be able.
I
to
know.
develop
Yeah,
them.
like
I
Kimmy's
think
had a
you can't
backwards
do
season.
that.
But I
Sometimes
think if
you
you
need
get,
results.
I think if you get a whole season, and you're not performing to the standard of
to
your
a
teammate,
certain level.
I think it's to the
Yes.
standard of your teammate, then it's valid for them to replace you. So like in Liam's situation, 9 times out of 10, he's getting completely outperformed by Isaac. I would not be upset if they replace Liam because I think it's fair. In the Red Bull seat, it's different because you're always going to get outperformed by Max. The question is, how close can you get?
Yeah.
I don't think Yuki's particularly done a great job, but I also don't want Isaac in that seat yet. I don't think he's ready. So
I
Yeah.
hope to God they don't put Isaac in that seat.
I just think it's not gonna.
and I
I love how this
worry-
is the tangent we ended up
And
on.
I
I just
worry
think
that
it's
they
the-
will.
the sponsors and how that's gonna go. That's why
Yeah,
Yuki's not
it's a lot of
gonna-
back office stuff.
Yeah, 'Cause
I
that's
think
the
Yuki could
whole-
end up at Aston
that's
as
the
a
whole-
reserve for
yeah.
a year, and then take
Fernando,
Fernando's.
as long as the
Fine.
car is good, Fernando said he's leaving after 26 and will go work
That's-
behind the scenes.
That's another thing. Okay, who's going to be all the reserves then? Even if they're not the
Yuki.
main drivers, they could all be not
Yeah,
not
Yuki
just
take
at
a
Red
year
Bull.
off.
Not just at Red Bull. They
Can we
could be
let Lance
reserves.
retire? Lance wanted to leave in 23 and 24.
Is that a confirmed report? Because I've heard
I
that a
don't know.
lot, but I don't know if
I'm
that
not-
was like official.
I've probably said it a
You can
lot.
tell he doesn't want to
I
drive
heard it somewhere. No.
He's hurt. He's
Man is
tired.
done.
He wants out. Like he doesn't
Like
want to
his
be there
wrist
anymore.
injury happening again is a perfect excuse
It
for them to
is.
go to
really
keep
is.
Lance's health and not have to worry about damaging his wrist anymore and like breaking it and like actual like damage where he's gonna retire and we'd all be
Yeah.
like, okay, very noble cause of him to retire for himself,
And with
Yeah.
the
not
team being split
getting
off
kicked
more.
out.
Yeah.
I
Well,
wouldn't be shocked.
But I'm not in
that
charge
is a
and
question.
people don't listen to me.
That is a very good question for the remainder of the season, and even maybe going into the winter break. If we're being completely honest, I think there's a lot of people very focused on what's going to happen now rather than what's going to happen in
Because
January.
silly season's been very delayed.
Yeah. So
It's all gonna come down. It's all gonna come crashing down, and I'm not prepared.
speaking of crashing, that's a perfect segue into the race.
You're
I
welcome.
want to talk about lap 1. I want to
I
get.
don't.
I want to start with Jason. We'll get your thoughts on the collision
I
between.
just hit my seat down.
I want to get your thoughts on the collision between the papayas and in general.
Well, there's no penalties. It was tight racing. I'll
Nothing just
I'll
an
kind
incident.
of leave it at that. I mean, there's minor minor damage. Like, I don't know. Maybe Lando could have been a little bit more careful, but it's also such a tight track
Yeah.
that I don't really know. My favorite was like, oh, when Oscar got on the radio, he was like, oh, so he left all the space for Max, and that's why he had to crash into me, right? Like, because his team was like, oh, he had to avoid Max, so that's why he hit you, and then that's when Oscar said that. But they're competitors in the same way. Lando's competing with Max. He's competing with Oscar. It was a racing incident. Does it suck for Oscar? Yeah. I mean, you pray your teammate doesn't hit you. But at the same time, you're racing them now. The team championship is clinched. Like, going forward, it's going to be all every man for himself in that McLaren team.
It should be. Is my argument.
Yeah,
So
there's
I
no
don't
more
know,
argument
but
of
do you
do
think
it
the
for the
same?
team.
They've been saying that. They're like, but we're going to race as two separate teams. And then they go and do stupid things. I don't blame the drivers, though. I blame their stupid strategists and Zach Brown and Adrian Stella. Like,
She has it up on her thing.
go away. I do have it up, but
She
why?
has a shot of it up on her
Because,
computer.
Sydney, you were saying earlier, you were like, there was so much room. Theoretically, technically, after the curve, yes. But once you're already taking that curve, if he were to keep going, he would have spun out and he would have taken out him and Oscar and potentially Max because he tapped Max and anyone behind him. So
Not on that curve.
yes, because that's the right. Because after that, then that's where it ends. They go that way. It's that. Sorry, we've got to
Going
rewind.
on to the right?
They're watching the replay
watch.
again.
So he takes that curve. He takes this curve. He goes back on this curve and see if he had kept spinning, he would have spun out.
Yeah, but he could have laid off there, is what I'm saying.
I think he could
Yeah,
have.
but he's not going to do that.
he
He's
could
not going to
have
lay
laid off.
off.
Yes
He
or no?
wants to take the place.
He could
You-
have.
yes.
He could have, and I'm not saying he should have. I'm saying he could have.
That's why I'm not saying he should have, but
just
he
gone
could
on
have.
braked a little sooner, and I think it would have solved a lot of problems.
So I do think it was just an incident.
However,
Because he
definitely-
wanted that
definitely-
place.
It was definitely a racing incident. I'm not saying there should have been penalties. I'm not saying there should have been anything
Yeah.
like that. But
Yeah.
I'm saying nobody could have been hit or anything like that if he laid off a little bit. But
Yeah, but then he
Lando-
would have come out in P4
with his mentality-
and Lando didn't want that.
Exactly. Him being him, he was not going to do that. And that's
Here-
taking on part of kind of Max's mentality because God knows Max would have never done that
Yeah,
either.
well, and
So-
everyone was saying last year that he's like, he needs to get a tougher mentality. He needs to be more like Max.
I'm not blaming him
So
for
now
that.
he's
I'm
doing
not
that.
saying.
But-
I'm not saying
saying-
he's wrong.
I'm not saying any of
he's
you guys are
wrong,
saying he's
but-
wrong. I'm just speaking against
in
the
that
others that say
situation,
that.
now you're not just doing it to like one person in like a tight corner, like mid race. This is okay.
I saw people comparing this to Oscar's move on him last year that no one was expecting. I want to say, what was that? Was that Monza?
Yeah.
What race was that? There was a race where like they were kind of starting 1-2 and like Oscar like completely, or maybe they were second and third, whatever. Oscar like kind of stuck up on him.
Yeah.
And it was tight, but they didn't hit each other. I think for me, the issue is that I've had this issue for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, months at this point. How far does the papaya rules go, and when are the papaya rules lifted and you're completely free to fight? Because until last week, you were inverting cars and pitting one person before the other. Now all of a sudden, and mind you, this race, yes, they secured the Constructors, and we'll talk about that, but they secured it at the end of this race, not the beginning. If they had both crashed out, they wouldn't have secured the Constructors.
Yeah.
So it's like, I understand if starting next week, it's completely gloves off, do what you want, because we've already secured the Constructors. But this week, to my understanding, papaya rules still applied. And I felt like it was a
gonna be
little bit
honest,
over the line.
I've never really understood papaya rules.
I felt like it was a little bit over the line. It was
I
a little
think
bit
the first time that they
unfair.
did it was crazy.
Well, the premise,
I think everything they're doing is just crazy.
the premise
and
is supposed
stop.
to be
So-
that the team shouldn't interfere with the driver's individual results, and if they do, they'll invert them. So, like, when there was a slow pit stop by, who was it, Oscar or Lando?
Well,
And
Lando last week.
and then they
Lando
inverted
before
them. That
this
was
race,
McLaren's philosophy, is that they're not going to let any team mistakes or mandering change the results of what the drivers will have gotten.
because
So they'll
Lando
adjust
before this
based
race,
on that.
for the past 5 races, has not had an under 4-second pit stop. He finally got a 2.1 second pit stop today.
And then Oscar
but
got
before,
5.2.
Yeah, so I think it's just whoever gets pitted second, for some reason the pit stop
Yeah.
is really bad. So again, it's that they need to work on that. But no, I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was so glad when he pit. I said it better not be another over 4-second pit stop, or I'm gonna punch somebody and it will be a McLaren mechanic.
Well, speaking of the McLaren pit stop, though, they asked Lando on the radio. They said,
Yeah.
Their wording is so bad.
It was so bad. we want to box Oscar first because of Leclerc.
But
And
how they said it, they were like,
originally-
they
Gotta,
said
gotta,
we want to
gotta.
cover Leclerc if he boxes. And then they went, if Oscar
Oh, but
boxes. So he was like,
Oscar.
yeah, let Leclerc box first. And he went, no, wait,
Oh,
but don't let
no.
Oscar. And I thought that was funny.
I
though.
thought it was funny because it was like, yeah, no, yes, actually, no, like, never mind.
And
And
then he
then
comes
he
in.
immediately came into the pits.
Because he heard Oscar and they were like, yes. Well, he heard Leclerc and he went, yeah, let him pit first. And then he heard, and then they kept going because they realized they said it wrong.
Yeah.
Which,
Like,
yeah.
But I thought that was funny.
It's giving like Charles Monaco the way that they're saying it over the radio. Like,
Yeah.
no.
It's really funny.
I think Ferrari and McLaren should fire many people and get new.
But again,
and by that I mean their
just can't
strategists.
talk.
But again, why was this asked to Lando? What does Lando have to like? Lando can what
Call
say
him in.
yes?
Call him in or don't. Like,
They
yeah,
shouldn't.
I think they.
I don't think
they
there
should
should
for the
ever be a
constructors.
situation.
They should stop relying on their drivers to make the strategy.
especially when you're going for the constructors. This isn't your individual drivers right now.
Lando-
This was for the constructors today.
Lando
so you
should
need to
not-
make these calls.
Yeah, Lando should
Yeah.
not be yaying or naying the
Your
order in which the team
strategy.
pits.
Yeah.
Oscar's side of the garage decides, hey, we're gonna pit on lap 30. Then they pit on lap 30. Like, they don't have to consult Lando's side of the garage. The only reason they would consult each other is if they're both going to pit on the same lap.
I
Then
think
you got to
that's
manage gaps.
theoretically what was happening, but that's why they were like, Lando,
But-
are you trying to pit before Oscar or after?
'cause
And
they
he
were
was
Why
like,
is
so
Lando
close.
trying to pit at all? Like, Lando needs to just be told box,
Yeah.
box, or we're coming in this lap.
I was talking to somebody and we were like, okay, so we fire Ferrari strategy. McLaren strategy becomes Ferrari strategy because they'll actually ask their drivers things. And McLaren gets a whole new strategy team. And I went, you know what? Sure. Yeah, why not? Let's see
I
what can
think-
happen, guys.
I think the other thing from this weekend was McLaren totally screwed up the dummy call. They
yeah.
dummy called in Max. Like, I mean, they
Dummy
told-
called in Lando.
We've been
Yeah,
dummy
there was a
calling
dummy call
lot this year.
for
They do that a
Lando
lot.
to try and get Max to pit, but it was too early.
Yeah.
Mind you, every team has access to every other team's radio.
Yeah.
My dummy call would have been made when GP asked Max about front wing flap update, because he does it every time. A couple laps before, he'll be like, update on the front wing flaps, and Max will tell him like a couple more points here or minus or we're good or whatever.
Yeah.
I was listening to the radio, McLaren does the dummy call, and I was like, there's no way Max is coming in. Like, if you were trying to get Max to come in, he's not, because GP hasn't even asked him that, and they're coming towards the pits. So it was like, for me, it was like, as a fan, if even as a fan, I can
Literally.
tell you he's not going to come in, what's the point of the dummy call? Like, you should have, they wasted it.
I
Like,
think
they
they've
could've
had
used
some
it.
good
Dummy
dummy calls,
Listen,
but
they've
this
been
wasn't one.
Doing so many dummy calls this year, I think it's losing the value of it because there's
Yeah.
been some really good
People are
ones
now
in the
expecting
past. That's like, but they've been using it so much this year. Just all the teams, I feel like that it's losing it.
They're
Yeah.
they're very much pulling a
They're-
boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
They're crying wolf so much that the one time they're actually going to try and use it, it's still not going to work.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
But I think it was because like I was also expecting McLaren to go long. So I was like, what does it matter? I mean,
Yeah.
even with the dummy call, if he had pitted that lap, McLaren in theory should have gone long. However, because of Charles, they were forced to pit because they had to pit
Okay.
Oscar, and they were going to undercut Lando with
same time,
Oscar's strategy. So
Why
they
are
had
we
to
worrying
pit.
about Charles? Charles is out there trying not to be told to light and to coast for
Yeah,
a whole lap at least.
yeah.
Like that's how.
He's still in the
yeah.
way.
So they
He's
were
out there trying to
they
get rid
didn't
of
wanna-
Lyco, and they're like, guys, we got to stop Charles. He's gonna win the race. No,
I
he's
also
not. Sorry,
was
Charles,
really
but it's
hoping
not
that
gonna happen.
Mercedes would mess up their strategy and leave George out, because Max was the only
Mm-hmm.
reason George came in was because Max was within like a 25 second
You were
gap.
wanting a Monaco situation.
If they had had a longer pit stop, if they had like for some reason he had a 4 second stop, 5 second stop, he would have come out behind Max. So they had to pit him, and Max was quick. So at some point the gap was going to disappear anyways.
Yeah, you wanted a
I
Monaco
thought it was really
situation
interesting.
where they forgot that they had to pit twice, and pitted at the very last second.
That was funny. Yeah. But I was really hoping he would stay out, but he didn't. Speaking of the Ferraris, though, I think this is one of the first weekends I've genuinely heard Charles outwardly, like, usually he'll be on the radio, be like, we'll talk about it after the race. Or he's like, you can tell he's frustrated, but he's not criticizing the team openly.
He's always in his PR mode, and
Exactly.
everything he says,
He
you
was
have to read
openly
in the lines.
unhappy with the car, both during qualifying and during the race. He was actually so frustrated.
As he should be.
I think he's just about as frustrated as the fans, because the fans are like, come on.
Yeah. As he should be too. Like, I think it's finally hit that point where him specifically has been promised so much, both with this car, with this team, with Lewis as a teammate, and we have finally hit that point where there's nothing. There is no results. We are not even close to, like, fighting with anybody.
Yeah.
We are not getting upgrades. We are not getting strategy. We are not getting
Is he
Just in
hopeful?
no man's land.
Is he hopeful for 26? I can't remember anymore.
I don't think he's allowing himself to hope
No.
anymore.
because that's why
Jason is Charles Leclerc. Jason's like, I'm
He
done
just
with
wants
this.
to pet his dog.
I send Jason my favorite, like,
That's why
depressing
he
Ferrari
has
memes
a brand
on a
You don't
weekly
send him to me.
basis.
He has a brand with side quest right now because he has given up,
Yeah, no, because
and it's crazy.
one of his besties wanted, his photography bestie wanted to start a business. And how do you start a business? You get Charles Leclerc to co-own it with you. Man
and
has
call it side quest.
Man has four jobs. All time, the marketing thing, which his brother runs, which Charles is like a co-partner, and then they do sponsor him. Lek, side quest, and Formula One driver.
I like how Lek sounds like lick, which is great for an ice cream brand.
Well, yeah, it was a
Yeah.
play on that
Yeah.
and his last name.
Yeah.
Are you just now catching that, or are you just now saying?
No,
it?
I
Okay.
just wanted to point it
Just
out
checking.
to the
Oh.
audience because, yeah,
No, but
he's
think
probably
he's just-
eaten many
Yeah.
of ice creams.
But he's not
And his
the
sadness.
only
Yeah, because
one.
why resist? And nobody's resisting Charles. You just don't have the ice cream worldwide.
But I think that's why there's been so many rumors, not just for his potential contract in the future, but with the rumor with the team. I think it was the whole thing with Mercedes that there was not hope for the people in the team, so all the people would leave Ferrari and go to, I think it was Mercedes.
There was a lot of
I think
entertaining
the whole thing-
personnel.
Well, yeah,
There-
because
all the
somebody
personnel
was
would
spreading
leave.
rumors that Ferrari's car is really bad. And
So
don't go to
Mercedes were
Ferrari.
gonna have the
and
best
Mercedes was
engine.
having. I talked
Yeah.
about this, I think, last time on
Yeah.
the podcast because I was like, "Why are we spreading rumors? Ferrari, you can't stop telling people not to go to Ferrari. Ferrari needs the help."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's not really a rumor. They're just kind of not doing. They're not
Yeah.
bad. They're not back of the field,
But
they're not
they were like
good.
exaggerating it so much. They were like, the car is gonna be like the bottom, like it's gonna be really
Yeah.
really bad. Don't go
They
there.
are.
Well,
But-
to be fair, it is really, really bad, and Lewis is also complaining about
Yeah.
it. Lewis has a lot of struggles and has had a lot of struggles at Ferrari. But this weekend, he went on the alternate strategy. He was gaining on Kimi, and then all of a sudden, boom, and we get a team radio. It's like, my brakes are gone, and I was like, oh, come on,
course.
like, and you know what is really sad. Lewis is already so far down in the championship that for me it was like, oh, whatevs. What I was worried about was we got 2 laps to go. Crash or pull off so that I get a safety car and I don't have to worry about Lando right up on Max's ass for the
I
next
was
3 laps.
hoping for that personally.
You didn't want Lando to pass Max?
No,
'Cause if we got a safety car, we wouldn't
Crash.
come back.
Like you get a red flag, you maybe I don't know anymore.
I don't
Guys,
think
let's
it'd be
be
a
real.
red flag.
I'm
But that was, like, my
Nico
first thing.
Hulkenberg. That's the one. Nico Hulkenberg. I was
Nico
like,
was-
come on, Nico, you had one job.
Nico saved it. Nico saved us. But it's not even just strategy issues or the car is slow. It's like it's all blowing up, literally.
Kaboom.
So I don't know. I think it's interesting because I think if we go into kind of talking about a little bit of the constructors, obviously McLaren secured P1, but P2, P3, and P4 are still very, very close. I mean, Mercedes had 325, Ferrari with 300, and Red Bull with 290.
Ooh, can I be
Out
delusional
of
for a
those
second?
three, Ferrari is the most likely to fall off a cliff and be fourth.
Here's my delusion. Ferrari, it's all on purpose so they can get the extra time to develop their car because you get more wind tunnel.
That's why next year's our year.
Yeah, the lowest team gets the most wind time.
Right.
I think they go.
Wind
I
tunnel
think they
time.
go. I end up fourth.
So they want to be in the middle so they get more wind time than the top
knows.
teams and they still get a good amount of
Christina
money.
knows.
I would love
Yeah.
that for the new regs next year.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't want second because of that.
That's why it
I would
comes to
prefer
when
that Red Bull finish
that actually would worry me a
Yeah.
little bit.
like when you
but-
get to the bottom of the grid, it's not really a fight for who can get to the to the midfield of the bottom of the grid because they all want that win time.
I mean, there's still money. There's still a lot of money involved.
But that's why you have to go, do I want
And
more
I'm
money
not-
or more win time?
not
That's why
necessarily worried about
Ferrari
Ferrari's income,
fourth,
so.
they still
Yeah.
get a good amount of money, and it's Ferrari, so they don't have to worry about money. And and then they get more win time than P3 and P2.
So are
So
you
it's actually all a plan, guys.
are you predicting Ferrari 4th then?
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
be
not-
realistic here.
I would take Mercedes
Third.
2,
I
Red
think-
Bull
I think-
3, Ferrari 4.
Yep.
I
That's
had
think
to
probably what's
Ferrari
gonna
take
happen.
could
shot
take.
at it.
I think Ferrari could take 3, but
I don't
Like,
think it's
if the
gonna
way
happen.
they're
I mean,
going-
Ferrari were within 2 or 3, but yeah, like you said, the way
I think-
they're going, it could
Yeah.
be 3
I
or
think, I
4.
think they'll end up
It
4
could
unless
be-
they change something in the next couple of races.
So it's actually all on purpose.
Yeah, it's a big brain strategy. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
More importantly,
But the way that their drivers are acting, I don't know.
yeah, more
You can't tell the
importantly, though,
drivers because then the drivers are going to be upset and be like, no, I want to win
They
races.
are already upset.
can we talk about the
Yeah.
fact that Mercedes is at 325 and McLaren just won the constructors with 650?
It's
Oh,
crazy.
Really?
Double.
Yeah.
That's okay.
That's more than
Slay.
that's more than the other teams have gotten in a long time because they
Yeah.
have 2 drivers. The
Yes.
last constructors winners have not had 2 drivers
Yeah.
Yeah.
or have not been this fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So like last year McLaren, the year before Red Bull, the year before that was also
Think
Red
about
Bull.
that with Red Bull. It was
Mercedes.
Max. It was pretty much Max getting the points and Checo kind of adding to it.
Yeah, Checo had some points, but he didn't have many.
was Max.
Now it's like literally the 2 McLaren boys at upwards of 300, so it kind of adds up.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, they are 22 points away from each other. 1 DNF, and it's a swing in Lando's favor, or completely in Oscar's favor. Then I find it really difficult for Lando to come back. More importantly, for me,
Who cares?
41 points between Max and Lando. So 63 between Max and Oscar. It's still just about 10 points a weekend. It's not
Yeah.
impossible.
I'm pulling the
Again, it's 1 DNF, and it's all
Yeah.
over for one of them.
I get how we're saying it could happen because we were all like, oh my gosh, this is where Lando started to come back last year, and we were like, oh my gosh, he could win. But like, I don't.
It's also
I
a string
don't
of tracks
want
Max
it.
has been good at,
I don't
except for
want it.
Singapore.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Which
that
is
graphic! Did
historically-
we
I
talk
don't-
about that
Can
graphic
we
on
not?
here?
She's talked about it so much.
Wait, which
I'm
one?
tired
The
of
graphic
it.
that
No.
F1 made that said nobody's perfect, and it
Oh,
had
wait,
all
yeah, I
the
know.
things. And my immediate
That was
reaction was,
so
if he
funny.
wins Singapore,
There
you
go.
must post an identical graphic that says perfection.
That was so funny to me.
And they posted it on his birthday.
You were not saying perfection. You kept going, but he is perfect. You weren't saying perfection.
No.
And I was like, but nobody is perfect. That's how life works.
That was so funny.
No,
when
but
I
if they're
saw
going to
that.
post that graphic, they either have to do another one that says perfection or one that says, but he is.
like marked it off.
Yeah. I didn't say he was perfect, but in that specific sense of they said nobody's perfect because he hasn't won Singapore. If he had won Singapore,
wins
by
every
their
other-
distinction, he would be perfect. So,
Moving on.
Nobody's perfect.
We never
Shall
talked about
Shall we
Isaac.
talk about Lando?
Isaac was just
He-
there.
No, he got an engine issue again. They literally went, Isaac, your engine issue is back. And he went, okay. And they went,
did
Yep.
not say okay. He was really mad. He was like,
Yeah.
again? This is bullshit.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was
But
not
no, it
happy.
was at one.
I
It was.
love him.
I also thought it was funny. His radio was interesting. At one point, they were like, "So, how's the battle between Max and Lando?" And he went, "Yep, it's happening." And they went, "Thank you." They were like, "Is there a battle happening?" And he went, "Yep." And the response was, "Thank you."
Well, I think also they went on the radio so many times to Yuki and to Isaac to be like, get out of the freaking way. Like, they are coming. You better not block them. If you want to block Lando, that's fine. Don't block Max.
No,
Like,
I kept going, Esteban, do your thing, cause some chaos. When Max had to go around Esteban, I was like, come on, and he didn't do it. Nobody listened to me. Except for DC. I asked for some like old like history or lore, and then 5 seconds later, DC started talking about something, a Monaco race, where someone DNF'd or whatever, and he just like went to his apartment for like a couple hours and then came back to the race.
but yeah.
Well, and I
Well,
was like, that's the lore I'm looking for. Thank you, DC.
yeah. Next
Nobody
race
else listened to me.
will be a lot. I think there's a lot on the line.
Yeah.
Because like I said,
And we'll be there.
we'll
catch
be
it
there.
live.
Catch it live. I'll be taking some photos.
In
That'll
what,
be
2
fun.
weeks?
Yep.
Yeah. be crazy. Next week we'll come up with something to talk about because there's always something to yap about.
Yeah.
We're
I
comm
hope so. I
majors.
hope-
That's just how
I've
that works.
always got
I
something to
hope
yap
silly
about. I was
season-
told to shut up the other day.
What were you saying about silly season?
No, I said I hope silly season will start to kick off with.
Yeah, because we haven't really had one.
No.
No,
I think
As of
there's
now,
gonna be
are there any shifts?
Not really.
just
Everyone's
Valtteri.
staying.
I hope
Just
there's.
Valtteri.
I think there's gonna be some coming up with this stretch of races because of this stretch of races.
Yeah.
If we don't know
Um,
anything by end of Las Vegas, I'm throwing a
We'll
fit.
have some.
Well,
by
I don't
then.
know who would
I'm
be
throwing a fit.
leaving, right?
I
Like
need-
well, the
everybody
thing
is
is, I just
gonna
need
want to stay
confirmation.
for 2026.
I just
we're
need
gonna have-
contracts signed.
Red
The
Bull
only
shifts.
question is George.
I think we're gonna have Red Bull shifts. I think we're gonna have some confirmation from Mercedes on George for
So
something.
yeah, Red Bull definitely.
I think we're
yeah.
gonna have something from Aston, whether it's
Well,
some confirmation.
there's the Alpine question.
The Alpine question mark.
Alpine situation.
And I don't know how to feel about it.
What else?
What else
I
we
think that's
got?
pretty much all of it.
Is Haas both confirmed?
Yeah, they should. I
They're
can't
20
imagine
they're
they would
26.
change.
Oh, yeah.
Haas and,
26.
Can't
and
imagine.
Steak?
Steak, yeah.
Yeah,
They're
they're both
those
for
are because
Audi.
they
Yeah.
because
Theoretically,
Steak
there's
chose
the
their
Aston.
drivers with Audi.
hmm
Yeah.
Well, we said
Yeah.
Audi. We said
So they're
Aston.
pretty
Yeah.
much set.
That,
Theoretically,
I
there's the
think,
Aston.
There's still, but that's
everything.
still a lot of seats,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
still a handful.
and that's still a lot
Over
of
half
F2
the
stuff going
seats
on.
aren't confirmed, and
Yeah.
that worries me.
So
I just don't want it all to happen
what
at
we
the end of
gotta
the
look at.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because last time it happened over the winter break, and I didn't like that.
I didn't either.
Not
I
too
was
many
ready for
things.
my F1
That's
brain to
crazy.
just go off for a little
That was
bit.
crazy.
So
My brain's kind of going off. My F1 brain's kind of going off right now.
I
Let's
still
be real.
remember
I'm just like,
February
nope,
2nd,
I'm done.
2024. So
Yep.
all right, well, I think that's a wrap for the day.
that's a
Perfect.
lot.
That was a lot. We covered a lot of stuff. There's a lot to talk about.
But yeah,
A lot
there
of
was
things.
nothing.
Yeah, a lot of things ramping up, but also a very boring race. So
Mhm.
kind of a 50-50 situation. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be back likely next week, Mondays at 11:30 Eastern time. In the meantime, stay tuned on our socials at Let's Latest on Instagram and TikTok. Bye, guys.